Hi everybody, I'm Peter Brown and today I'm going to teach you all you need to know about colonic irrigation. So what is colonic irrigation, you might ask? Well, colonic irrigation is simply the cleansing of the colon using water that has been sterilised, filtered and warmed up to approximate body temperature. Machines used for the treatment vary, but ultimately what most of the machines do is to deliver the water to something called a speculum, which I'm going to show you later. So here I've got a few pictures for you to have a look at some of the equipment used. Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, you've had a chance to have a look at some of the equipment involved in colonics, but what you need to understand is all that equipment does is deliver water to this, and this is called a speculum. Speculums are used in a single-use, sterile, disposable form like this. If you come across somebody using stainless steel speculums, then I suggest you find another therapist. So the speculum pack comes in 4 parts. You have the speculum itself, the obturator that gets inserted into the speculum, obviously for insertion purposes. The tip of the speculum would be lubricated by using Vaseline or whatever the therapist chooses to use. Once that has been inserted, and incidentally, as you can see, it's about as thick as my thumb, so that should answer some common questions out there. Again, once it's been inserted, a waste pipe gets attached, the feed pipe gets attached. Now this feed pipe is what the equipment will be delivering water to. Once inserted, obviously the machinery is switched on. The water then gets manipulated out of the speculum tip by clamping the waste pipe. So by clamping the waste pipe, it's forcing water out the tip. So during treatment, the therapist will be clamping the waste pipe, massaging the abdomen and also involving you in the treatment, which is quite important. So to give you a rough idea, here's a short clip.
It feels just like there's a little something there, but nothing that's like irritating or anything.
And by touching her tummy, I can feel where it's actually the congestions are.
Now I can feel pressure, just a little one, down like on my lower left side. The pressure starts to get so that you kind of feel like you have to go to the loo. So it's better to just say, yeah, done.
The large intestine that's from the bottom of the large intestine sigmoid, descending, the transverse, and then ascending. So we have to walk all the way.
Oh, here we go. It's starting to feel like it's filling up. There's still pressure, but it's not like it's going to blow
guys,
up.
so you've seen a treatment, but also you need to bear in mind that always after you've finished a treatment you will need to visit the toilet, and this toilet visit is important. It is very important that you don't rush this process. You stay in the toilet facilities at your clinic as long as you see fit to do so. There's nothing worse than having a colonic, rushing away because you've got an appointment and then getting the urge to go to the toilet. So I cannot stress this enough, okay? And if your facilities are anything like they should be, music will also be playing in the toilet to make that experience a little more comfortable for you. So I'm going to just have a little quick recap now on what you've already seen. Let's talk about the machine again. Okay, the machine, ultimately, no matter how many knobs, whistles, flashing lights, dials, no matter what the machine is, ultimately all it does is deliver the water to the speculum that I've already shown you. Again, disposable speculums are the preferred choice. Stainless steel ones really are not the way the industry is moving forward, so I suggest you find another therapist if they're using stainless steel speculums. The therapist should massage your abdomen quite firmly during the treatment, and importantly as well, they should be involving you and asking you to get involved within the treatment. So when they're doing a fill and you can feel some pressure build up, you will indicate that you felt pressure and they release the pressure. Okay? So now let's move on to the benefits, or the reasons people actually have colonic irrigation. Well, the number one reason is quite obvious really. It's to relieve constipation. It's pretty obvious. The second one on my list would be to alleviate gas and bloating. Okay, gas and bloating can be associated with IBS or whatever. Gas and bloating is also associated with something called dysbiosis, but that I'm not going to be covering that in this video. Colonic irrigation, it also helps improve the peristaltic action of the bowel. It increases nutrient absorption. How does it do that? Well, if you can imagine bacteria in the colon, there's some nasty stuff in there and some obviously some beneficial bacteria. When you have a colonic, what you're doing is washing out the nasty stuff as well as some of the beneficial stuff. And hopefully if your therapist really knows what they're doing, they will be prescribing you probiotic supplements after treatments. So when you rectify dysbiosis, the nutrient absorption of the digestive system considerably increases. You will also find that your skin tone will improve, and this generally is done through the liver and bowel working in unison together. When you've got a stagnant bowel, the liver's dumping bile into the bowel, into the digestive system, and the digestive tract is moving slow, then you get something called auto-intoxication. So you're reabsorbing some of the toxins that your liver's trying to get rid of, and as a result of that you can get headaches, fatigue, difficult weight loss, a myriad of problems as a result of that. So colonic irrigation is a definite, indication for these issues. A common question that people ask is, does colonic irrigation help with weight loss? Well, in simple terms, of course, when you have a colonic, you are going to be moving a lot of compacted fecal matter. So of course you're going to lose weight during a treatment. But the scientific evidence now has been shown to prove that by rectifying a dysbiotic tendency, an imbalance of bacteria of the bowel, this in turn aids in the digestion and assimilation of nutrients, which in turn is also going to make sure that your metabolism and your endocrine systems are fed adequately, so you're getting more nutrients to the cells. Then your metabolism improves. So yes, it can help improve weight loss, but only really when you look and set about correcting dysbiosis tendencies. And also colonics are an integral part of alternative disease treatments, typically cancer treatments, the Gerson Institute and the likes of. So I hope I've covered quite a lot of information there for you. I'm going to be moving on to contraindications and the dangers of colonics next. Okay everybody, we're getting to the end of this instructional video now. We're just going to finish off with some contraindications, reason you shouldn't have this treatment. Cardiac disease is one, aneurysms, severe bleeding, hemorrhoids, carcinomas, cancers of the colon, active fistulas, pregnancy, abdominal hernias, recent bowel surgery. Listen, at the end of the day, the list is not really conclusive. You would have to speak to your GPs, your doctors, and in turn, if I'm not really certain, then I would ask for a referral letter also. But certainly, if you fall within the criteria that I've already mentioned, then you should shy away from having colonic treatments. So now let's move on to any dangers associated with the treatments. You know, I've looked at all around the internet, I've looked at other people's websites, and you can see therapists stating that there are no dangers whatsoever associated with colonic irrigation. You know and I know that if you do some web searches, you can find somebody who has had a nasty experience. They don't know why or what caused that nasty experience. So just let me run through that with you. So one common issue is the symptoms that you initially came to see the therapist with may appear to get worse. Okay? Generally this is done or triggered by your body starting to detoxify. So you're getting detox reactions. Once you support the bowel, it triggers a chain reaction via the liver and then the rest of the systems, and your body starts to cleanse. So headaches, mild nausea, etc, etc. But some of the people that you may have read up about on the internet appeared to become extremely ill. So my explanation for that is this. If you akin your digestive system to a barrel, and in the bottom of that barrel you've got lots of rust, etc, etc, and you start pressure washing that barrel out and stir it and give it a good swish round, you're stirring a lot of nasty stuff in there, and your digestive system, particularly in some people who've got chronic constipation, is very similar to that. So these people who got extremely ill, they have either stirred up a hell of a lot of nasty bacteria in there and given themselves a systemic infection, or parasites may have been involved. Parasites are more common than you would be led to believe. If a little nest of parasites has been stirred up, then obviously that also could explain some of the issues that you may have read about. Moving on. Infections from non-sterile equipment, hence that's why now disposable speculums are the way forward. Abdominal ruptures of the digestive system through malfunction in equipment. Some of the pump systems pump at high pressure. If the therapist's not observing what they're doing, or if the equipment malfunctions, then of course there's a risk from ruptures. And then don't forget the financial loss. If you're visiting therapists and all they want to do is sign you up for myriads of treatments, then of course, you know, there's going to be a financial concern involved with that. There is also something else to bear in mind if you're having lots of treatments, that you should be warned about something called electrolyte imbalances. The same way as a child who gets diarrhea, when you have bowel colonics, or you're doing home colonics, etc, etc, you are at risk of disturbing your electrolytes. People come to see me for more severe issues who have colonics on a regular basis. I definitely start prescribing them to replace their electrolytes via using coconut waters or supplemental drinks. And also you just need to be aware that if you have any kidney issues where the body is struggling also to balance electrolytes, this would impact more severely also. So I hope I have really put you in the picture, giving you lots and lots of information. I hope I've not bored you too much at the end of the day. I've answered lots of questions that I've trolled through on the internet that nobody seems to be answering correctly. Hopefully I've put you all in the picture. It's been an absolute pleasure talking you through colonic irrigation. Keep an eye open for my future posts coming up, my future videos. If you're interested, have a look at my website, thepeterbrownClinic.com. I'm going to tag some information on it at the end of this video. See you soon.